Well, that was the start of their current 8-game losing streak as well. So there are many demons that they would like to exercise tonight. This is Zawicki with the ball. She's their point guard. Hurley, ball above her head against Mooney. Now they're going to work it inside. Left block. Back out, top of the key. This is McNabb. Drives off the glass, rolls out. And down with a rebound is Aaron Reynolds. Mooney down the floor. Mooney with a start tonight in place of Amanda Germer, who is out with a concussion. This is McCoy. She'll run the team tonight from the point guard spot in place of Germer. Mummy now to Brooke Orcutt. Brooke Orcutt with a screen and a roll to Mummy. She kicks it to Mooney. Last time we broadcast the game, Julie Mooney had a game to remember. That's Orcutt with a long miss. Reynolds with the rebound, fakes it left, goes right, won't go in. Lauren Wagner, who averages a double-double, comes down with that rebound.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Case because Wagner did not have good defensive positioning there. That should have been an easy bucket.
Wagner inside, swing it. That's a 3 in the air for Rochester. That gets nothing. Nothing but a little bit of backboard. This is Mooney with the loose ball. Case wearing the pink uniforms tonight. It is part of the Play for K night here on Friday. All proceeds go to the benefit that the Women's Basketball Coaches Association has picked out, their charity of choice, as Reynolds hits a 3.
Yeah, how did she bank that?
That charity is the K Yao Cancer Fund. So the Spartans wearing their signature pink tonight. Pink uniforms, pink socks. I think Laura Mummy even has pink nail polish on. Inside, Wagner missed it. Case is 1-8. They've lost 8 in a row. Mooney with a scoop shot. Rochester 2-7. They beat the number 2 team in the country just a week ago on Friday night. Step up from 16 feet. Shot was missed long. McNabb comes down with a loose ball.
Well, Rochester not a particularly good shooting team across the board. They're only shooting 40% from the floor as a team. 31.5% from beyond the three-point line, and only 61% as a team from the free throw line.
Yeah, you're not going to win many games if you're shooting 61, especially when they're losing the games like they're losing them. Tight, close games.
They've lost in conference.
Yeah.
They've lost 2 one-point games and a couple of other games that are less than 5.
You can really point to that as Wagner shoots along the left baseline. Orcutt with the rebound. We've got a foul inside. I believe it's going to be called on Laura Mummy. We'll go against Mummy. They say Laura cleared out the sophomore from Hudson. That's her first foul. First team foul.
Big key tonight for Case is to take care of the basketball. On the season, they've got 80 more turnovers than assists in their 20 games played thus far.
That is
it's kind of alarming.
Yeah, point well worth repeating as the game goes on. This is Orcutt as Case swings it on the perimeter.
Well, and you certainly don't want to point to one person in particular if you don't have to, but Germer really had struggled with that category this year.
Orcutt with a scoop from the left side, missed it, and a shot clock expires. Ball never hit rim, so it never reset. Well, when you're the point guard, all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
And there's Jen Reimer. She knows about that. She was a point guard in college. Team captain 2 of her years. School leader in assists when she ended her career.
And meanwhile, Rochester 0 for 6 to start the ball game until that.
That's Wagner with a strong left-handed hook shot. Mummy at the free throw line. Now it's Orcutt left wing. Try to get it inside the Reynolds. Aaron controls it. 14 to shoot. Mummy, she's got the only basket. Missed that one. Mummy tries to keep it alive, or Mooney rather.
Rochester's spacing defensively really not very good right now. They're giving Case a lot of open looks. The Spartans just haven't knocked them in.
This is Hurley, left baseline. Reverse layup. And Jessica McCoy is going to lead the break for Case. It's a 2-on-2 break, and running her out of bounds, knocking the ball out of bounds is Danielle McNabb. She'll get a foul. That'll be her first. So look at that Rochester coaching staff. There's the head coach, Jim Scheibel.
Yeah, how about this? 15th year for Jim Scheibel, 284 and 124 at UR, but as a head coach in general, 425 career wins, only 195 losses. He's done an excellent job with this program. Only one season prior to this year since he took over in 99-2000 with a sub-500 record, and it was that inaugural season. Since then, they've only lost double-digit games twice until this year. So he's really done a nice job bringing UR back to their historic program highs.
Wagner working it out top. Ball's loose, but they get it back to Wagner underneath. Right block, and it's up and in. Lauren Wagner with all 4 points for Rochester. Nice ball fake by Mummy that time. You know, we've only watched 4.5 minutes of this game so far, Brendan, but you pointed it out earlier, and I just noticed it again. Wagner's defense inside is not good.
No, she really doesn't play well with her feet. I think she gets fatigued too easily, and she probably gets a lot of rebounds because of her size. She can kind of push her way around, but she's not a great athlete.
She tied that one up.
Right, she did a good job.
Stepped out of bounds, though.
But she's definitely not their most athletic player, and I think sometimes she gets caught being a little bit lazy. Case has to take advantage of, when she has poor defensive positioning.
Coach Reimer talking to Rachel Beatty, who's going to check in soon. Case with 2 injured players tonight. Barrett Eppard, who's been out for a while with an ACL, as Mummy hit another, was it a 3? It's a 2.
Neither one of these teams typically light up the scoreboard. 63 and 64 points per game respectively. Rochester averaging just a little bit more than Case on the year, but both teams also play pretty good defense.
And Brooke Orcutt stepped on the baseline.
By the way, you mentioned the coaching staff from University of Rochester. How about this as a pretty cool note? One of the assistant coaches for Rochester, Caitlin Donahoe, she's a 2013 graduate of Bowdoin. You might recognize her name. Her dad is Tom Donahoe. He's the former general manager of the Buffalo Bills, and he's in attendance tonight. So we'll see if maybe we get a shot of him at some point. We'll point him out to you.
2 players off the bench for Rochester, Sarah Kaminsky and Danielle June. This is Kaminsky with the ball, swinging it on the far side. Shot was missed, but down with the rebound is Tyler Guerreri. Back out on top to Zawicki. This is Kaminsky with the basketball. Now it's Wagner with Mummy on her. Zawicki for 3. Second time's the charm for the junior from Liverpool, New York. Brooke Orcutt throws it over the head of Laura Mummy. Checking off the bench and into the game for Case is Lauren Elkin, a 5'11 senior from Ryerstown, Maryland.
The last time Case was at home when they played Brandeis and NYU, both games were pretty good games. Unfortunately, they fell short both times, but Brandeis, who's 12-8 on the year, they played to a 5-point game. They darn near beat NYU. They took them to overtime and lost by just 2 points. Had a couple chances to win that game down the stretch, and certainly Case was hoping that they would go to Brandeis and NYU last weekend after hosting them with a little bit of momentum, learning some things about those two teams, and maybe at least being able to take one. But unfortunately, games last weekend didn't quite go as well. 71-58, a loss at Brandeis, and a 72-56 loss in Gotham at NYU.
Wagner traveled inside. It's one of the realities of this team this year, I think. The Case women's team, as you see McCoy come down the floor, the freshman who's, along with Rachel Beatty, going to sub at point guard tonight for Amanda Germer, is because of their inexperience and because of their youth. You're going to have games and weekends like you just described, Brendan, where the team thinks that they're at a point where they're going to turn a corner, and then they play anything like that. And it's frustrating, I think, for them, frustrating for their coaches. But it's one of those things that I think you just have to grow through, like Jim Scheibel's growing through this year with his Rochester team. You know, how do they knock off Wash U and then, you know, lose 7 games in conference as well?
Well, at the end of the day, it just comes down to making the silly mistakes. And when you don't shoot the basketball well, when you have open looks, I don't know if that's necessarily a silly mistake, but those are things you can easily point to as to why you'd lose a game. And then, you know, you throw in some little things that you know you can do better. For example, they're averaging 17 turnovers a game. You're only forcing 14, so that's not going to help their cause. And on top of that, you know, without shooting, especially the free throws, as a 61% free throw shooting team, you're just not going to win a lot of games. Too many games come down to a couple points here and there.
Good defense by Rachel Beatty that time inside. Here comes McCoy the other way for Case. Game's tied at 7. We're about 8 minutes in, opening half here on a doubleheader night inside Horsburgh Gymnasium. That's Elkin inside, gets the shot in the roll. Lauren Elkin, the computer science major here at Case, with a bucket and a chance to make it a 3-point play.
Second foul on Danielle McNabb. McNabb, the 3rd leading scorer on this team for UR, 10 points, 5.5 rebounds a game.
Landolfi fouled up top by Jessica McCoy. That will be McCoy's 2nd foul.
That just sounded like it hurt.
Yeah, it did. That will bring Chelsea Steen off the bench to sub for McCoy. Steen from Newark, Ohio. 3 points, 2 rebounds off the bench, 5'6" junior guard. She is leading the defense right now. This is McCoy with it. Rochester down 3. Plenty of time to shoot, 15 seconds for the Yellow Jackets. Landolfi drives, shot off the back of the rim. She gets her own rebound, and she went up and over the back to get that rebound. So the foul will go against Blair Landolfi.
She's walking back, and she just looked to one of her teammates and said, "I can't feel my hand." She's still trying to flex her fingers a little bit in her right hand, so that's something we'll keep an eye on. Not sure if she jammed it on her way up or maybe hit an opposing player on the way down or what it might be. She's actually going to check out, and she won't even high-five her teammate with that hand.
With that
She'll
right
reach
hand,
across
yeah.
her body, so clearly her right hand bothering her for Blair Landolfi.
Laura Mummy checks back in for Case. Allie Zawicki has checked back in for the Yellow Jackets. Elkin inside, pass was thrown away by Orcutt.
Well, neither team shooting it well here in the outset. 3 of 13 from the floor for Rochester. Case only 4 of 11. And both teams have turned it over 4 times as well.
Zawicki blocked by Mummy. And they're going to say the shot last touched Laura Mummy, so Rochester will keep it. They'll have 19 seconds to shoot. Wagner's back in for Rochester, along with Katie Weiner. Weiner from Briarcliff, New York, 6-foot senior. With the basketball now is Hurley. Kelsey Hurley with a strong drive. Weiner fights for the rebound, gets it, puts it up, missed it, but she was fouled. Foul's going to go against Brooke Orcutt. That is her 2nd. So on a night when Case is really not very deep with all of their injuries and their lack of experience, they've got 2 girls with 2 fouls in the first 9 minutes of this basketball game.
And especially tough with Orcutt. She's really been the brightest star on a season that has just been kind of woeful. She leads the UAA in both free throw percentage and minutes played per ball game. She's in the top 10 in points, rebounds, assists, and steals, too. She's really been their best player this year.
And Katie Weiner made both of her free throws. She's a 44% free throw shooter. You mentioned Orcutt's time on the floor. The games are 40 minutes. She averages 33 minutes per game. Steen with the long rebound. Elkin to Mummy in the paint. Left-handed shot, Wagner lost the ball, Steen comes up with it. This is Beatty with it. Steen will swing it to Mooney. Now it's Elkin and whistle and a foul, a hand check. It's the second time they've called that in this game, and they don't really mess around. Boy, if you get that hand on somebody's hip or even on the small of their back, it is immediately called.
And technically, that's the right
That's
call.
the way it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Timeout on the floor. We'll be back. Case is up a point.
This year, Qdoba will cater like 10,000 parties.
Where? When? I'm there.
Well, these parties are hypothetical. I was just talking about Qdoba catering. Hot taco bars with fire-grilled chicken and marinated steak, flour tortillas and taco shells. You'll also get their hand-smashed guacamole, cheese, sour cream, lettuce, and salsa. They'll deliver to your home or office, and they'll even set it up.
Can I bring a guest?
Oh, boy. Visit Qdoba.com today for more information about Qdoba catering. Qdoba Mexican Grill. More to explore.
Well, Brendan, with your early storylines, anything that you see?
You know, for the most part, it's been pretty much what we expected. Two teams that are kind of in a funk lately. Rochester, we didn't really mention, other than the fact we were more relying on the fact that they beat WashU. They've dropped 6 of their last 7 games, so they're not playing particularly well, and neither team shooting well. Rochester's at 3 of 15 shots. That's kind of where we expected to be at, but I haven't seen Allie Zawicki really start to light it up yet. She's hit 45 three-pointers for this team. They've only hit 102 on the season, so she's hit nearly half of them. Definitely want to keep your eye on her as the game goes on.
Case out of that timeout with a turnover. Checking out of the game for Rochester is Sarah Kaminsky. This will be Zawicki. She'll bring it up against defensive pressure from Chelsea Steen. Off a screen, 3 in the air. Hurley missed it, and Mooney with the rebound. Rachel Beatty with a real nice drive from the left side with a right-handed layup.
You know, even though we've mentioned that both these two teams are struggling, I mean, they're the bottom 2 teams in the UAA, I think a win for Case today would be huge for this program, given what Rochester's done historically. People will look back on this and smile if you're a Spartans fan.
Steen with a shot, missed it. Wagner with the rebound. Spartans up a point. We're inside 10 minutes left in this opening half. Case trying to get it, or Rochester trying to get it into Wiener. Elkin is going to reach in and draw the foul. That will be Lauren's first. Zawicki inbounds it to a cutting and scoring Kelsey Hurley. And Rochester takes a 1-point lead. This is Mummy with a soft shot inside the foul line. Laura Mummy's got 7 first-half points. Zawicki with a ball fake, draws the defense. Wiener's going to swing it. 3 in the air. That's Landolfi. Ball's loose. Wiener fighting for it along with Chelsea Steen, and we've got a tie-up. And the possession arrow goes to Case.
I'm pretty impressed with Chelsea Steen in this one. Coming off the
need
bench,
her minutes.
They really are going to need her minutes, and she's playing aggressively, but not out of control. She's picking her spots well to be, you know, that extra, to pull that extra aggressiveness out on a place like that. Good face guarding from well beyond the 3-point arc too on Zawicki.
Rachel Beatty for 3, missed it short. Wagner with the rebound. And Lauren was fouled in the backcourt. Elkin or Mummy. Foul's going to go against Elkin, her second, and that will be the 7th team foul for Case. Lauren's going to come out of the game. Aaron Reynolds is going to check back in. Reynolds is back in with 2 points and no fouls. Elkin will take a seat, 3 points, 2 fouls, and shooting 1 and 1 will be Lauren Wagner. Wagner, a 59% free throw shooter, the senior out of Traverse City, Michigan. Missed the first one long, but Wiener comes up with a rebound. Kaminsky brings it out between the circles. They'll reset it for Rochester. Inside to Wagner. Wagner just flat out missed it. Got the loose ball back, controls it. Kaminsky looking for Wagner, finds her. 22 seconds to shoot, plenty of time. Wiener swing it to Kaminsky, and the ball was thrown out of bounds. Landolfi tried to get it to Kaminsky in front of the Case bench, and I think Sarah was going left, and Landolfi thought she was going right. Turned into a turnover for Rochester. So Rachel Beatty will bring it up. And in case you're just tuning in, Amanda Germer is out tonight. She has a concussion. She will not play. So Case is rotating McCoy and Beatty at the point. And Erin Reynolds with a nice ball fake inside. She's got 4. Kaminsky into a double team. Somehow got rid of it, and Wagner laid it up and in.
I'm not quite sure how Sarah Kaminsky didn't draw a foul there. I know both players on defense went straight up, but she got kind of sandwiched between the two of them.
Reynolds again, and she drew the foul that time. Erin Reynolds will go to the foul line. She'll shoot 2. Fouls on Wagner. It is Wagner's first.
Oh, Reynolds has struggled from the line, only a 61%er, but nothing but net on the first one.
Erin Reynolds, who averages 6 points per game this season, has 5 in the first 12 and a half minutes. Her and Laura Mummy, as Mummy grabs that rebound, have really led the scoring so far for Case. That's Beatty for 3, missed it short. How about that hustle by Chelsea Steen? Steen with a hustle rebound off to Mooney, and Julie lays it up and in.
You know, Ron, there are some coaches that tell you can't measure heart. I think on plays like that, that's where you can see where it comes into play. Just never giving up on a ball.
Well, you had mentioned Chelsea's effort so far tonight, and we really saw it there as Wiener puts a shot off the glass. Check, that was Tyler Guerreri with that shot. That's Tyler's first basket. Reynolds, long 3. Rebound for Danielle McNabb. Down the floor. This is Kaminsky with the basketball, back to McNabb. Ball almost stolen by Steen. McNabb will control. 15 seconds to shoot. McNabb with a ball fake at the foul line, another ball fake. 18-footer in the air, it's an air ball. Mooney with the rebound. And good active hands, and stealing the ball the other way is Tyler Guerreri.
Just got to be a little bit quicker on that pass. Mooney had the right idea, but by the time she saw it, she needed to have thrown it there already. Case is playing at a pretty good pace so far in this ballgame. I don't think that's been their problem. Sometimes teams struggle to get into a comfort zone early in a game, and I don't know, I kind of feel like they're playing their game right now. They just haven't hit their shots.
19-17, Case is up 2 inside 6 minutes. Left to play in this opening half. Off the bench is Emily Young. Young, a sophomore guard. It's Julie Mooney in your shot right now. Young, number 11, a sophomore guard from Lancaster, Ohio. That's Young right now on defense. Step up 16-footer is good by Danielle McNabb. And the game's tied again at 19. McCoy, Mummy. Now it's Reynolds with a turnaround shot. Missed it long. And hustling for the rebound was Emily Young. She's going to pick up the foul. Try to take it away from Tyler Guerreri. And Emily's going to draw her first foul.
Jennifer Reimer trying to explain something to Laura Mummy here, and whatever it is, she's being awfully demonstrative. Not sure if it's something for the offensive or defensive end of the floor, but hopefully she got her point across.
First free throw is up and good for the sophomore from Pittsford, New York. Tyler Guerreri this year off the bench, averaging 3 points, 3 rebounds. She's got 3 points so far tonight, make it 4. The lead is back in the hands of Rochester. This is McCoy. Mooney, cross-court pass. Mummy inside the three-point line, makes it. Laura Mummy's got 9 points.
Case can hit their shots from long-range two-point distance. They shouldn't have a problem winning this game because Rochester's defense right now is very poor rotating.
Shot was blocked by Emily Young.
Case
that was Kaminsky on the drive.
Case has had plenty of looks that they need to capitalize on. Unfortunately, they've only shot at 9 to 23 in the first half.
Reynolds is going to drive strong off the glass, missed it. She'll shoot 2. Follows on Danielle June. That is Danielle's first. Reynolds back at the line. She's 1 of 2 tonight. She's got 5 points.
Well, Wagner's going to come back in the ball game here, Lauren. I think they're pretty clearly missing her presence when she's not out on the floor. But when she's on the floor, there's only certain things that so far in this game she's done well. Sometimes stats can be a little misleading, and I see that she averages 13 points and 12 rebounds a night and start to wonder how many of those are uncontested or rebounds that maybe just kind of fall to her, because I really haven't been that impressed with her athleticism so far.
Emily Lewis now in the game for Rochester. This is Wagner. Strong defense by Mummy. 3 in the air, missed it. McCoy comes down with a rebound. McCoy quickly down the floor. Mummy with the basketball in front of the Yellow Jackets bench. Work it inside, but that pass was not a good one, and it was stolen easily by Danielle McNabb. This is Zawicki, defended by Reynolds. They're going to kick it. Ball fake by Kaminsky. Off the glass, missed it wildly. Reynolds comes down with it, and Kaminsky fouled her. 20 fouled 20. And for Sarah Kaminsky, that will be her first.
Well, the foul's going to go against Sarah Kaminsky and not against Erin Reynolds. At one point, you almost thought it might go the other way.
Reynolds is going to shoot a free throw because Rochester is in the bonus. They've got 7 fouls, so Case will be shooting 1 and 1 the rest of the half. Well, Erin Reynolds has done a nice job. She is 4 of 5 from the foul line. She's got 8 points. Laura Mummy's got 9. And Case has 3 other scorers, all 3 off the bench. 25-21, largest lead of the night for Case. This is Lewis, double team trap near half court, gets it off to Wagner. Kaminsky in the corner, Zawicki with the shot, missed it long, Mummy with the rebound. 3:30 left to play opening half, Case is up 4.
As this first half has played out, this might be the team that is most similar to Case, just from top to bottom in terms of personnel that we've seen this season. And evidenced by a pretty close game.
Scheibel discussing whether that was a travel or not inside.
6 seconds, Case, 6 seconds.
Case has 6 seconds to shoot. Mooney's going to inbound it. She found Reynolds. The ball was tipped out of bounds off Aaron's hand. Officials are discussing, and it will be Rochester's basketball. So Jim's going to get the ball back anyways. Lewis, every time she touches the ball, Case sends two defenders at her. Wagner with a nice step inside. Stepped in, back step, and got an easy bucket. She's got 10 points.
Yeah, I was kind of watching her on that possession, and after she set the low screen, she just sort of hung out there in the post till the ball was reversed around and they dumped it down to her.
Reaching in and drawing the foul.
It's going to go on Wagner.
Will be
That's
on
her second.
Wagner.
So Danielle McNabb and Lauren Wagner for Rochester. Brooke Orcutt, Jessica McCoy, and Lauren Elkin for Case, all playing with, well, not necessarily playing right now, but all with 2 fouls in the ball game. Each team has committed 8 fouls in the first half.
This is Julie Mooney, one of 3 Case seniors, playing their final home games this weekend. Julie Mooney, a nursing major here at Case. Mooney has 4. She had 20 the last time we saw her play against NYU here on a Sunday 2 weeks ago. Foul's going to go against Julie Mooney. That will be her first.
Yeah, and in that game, she just couldn't miss. I mean,
No, it was fun to watch, wasn't it?
It was hard to not laugh as you were doing the game because every time she put something up, you really thought it was going in. And the best part was, I think her teammates felt the same way, and they just kept giving her the ball.
Well, we both thought she was going to make the shot to win the game there at the end of regulation because when she let it go, it looked good.
And she darn near hit it.
This is Kelsey Hurley at the foul line. Hurley with 3 first-half points.
Landolfi still flexing that right hand. I wonder if she's still struggling to have good feeling in that hand. The juniors started every game this season. She's played almost 30 minutes a night, averaging just under 7 points and 4 rebounds a game, but she's a big part of this offense.
Well, she's hit 21 threes. I mean, she's second to Allie Zawicki, and you mentioned how dominant Zawicki's been at the three-point line. She's made 45 of the team's 102 threes. So, yeah, if Landolfi is on the bench for the rest of this game, that's a definite downside for this Rochester team. Case with 6 seconds to shoot. Beatty for 3 in front of the Yellow Jackets, missed it badly. And here comes Rochester the other way. Weiner, you're going to swing it and throw the basketball out of bounds.
It's the 6th turnover for Rochester in this one. Case with 8 turnovers, but they're +3 on the glass, as the Spartans have still hung on to this lead here. They've trailed by no more than 3. Case also lately has been very good from the free throw line, probably the last 7 or 8 ball games, and in this one so far they're 8 of 9.
Another unforced error. Turnover by Case. Zawicki with Steen on her. Chelsea Steen has been very active in her time on the floor. This is Wagner, strong inside. Missed it up and over the back, and boy, Lauren is just going to be, she'll be frustrated by that foul. That's a foul you don't want to commit.
No, and I think you got to give more credit there to Case on the defensive side, because both Mummy underneath and Reynolds made that difficult for her to get a good look. She turned around, she got a shot from the middle of the paint, that's fine, but she wasn't leaning into the shot. She was kind of fading away from it, and then when she went back up to get the rebound, she was in a bad spot. So good defense there from the girls in pink tonight.
Rachel Beatty has 3 points. Case is 9 of 10 from the foul line. 10 of 11.
Case hasn't worn their home uniforms in about a month, because last time we were here for home games, it was throwback weekend.
They were honoring Mather College. McNabb missed it. Mummy with the rebound. This is Mummy with a ball fake. Working against Weiner, missed the shot. Weiner tipped it to her teammate, and here comes Zawicki the other way. We're inside a minute to play. Case with their largest lead. It's at 29-24. 3 in the air, missed it long. Mooney fights for the rebound, protects it, saves it, and she'll bring it up the floor.
I think Mooney has gotten smarter as the season's gone on, and you wonder if maybe part of that's just confidence and getting some more live action reps or what, but she She really has played better as the season has progressed.
This is Mummy working inside. Left-handed shot is good. Mummy with 11.
It's the largest lead for Case at 7 points here. 20 seconds left in the first half.
Well, Landolfi has checked back into the game for Rochester. This is Zawicki with a beautiful ball fake. She left Rachel Beatty wondering which way was up. Good help defense by Case to save the day. 6.9 seconds to shoot. Shot clock is off, obviously. Case is up 7. Zawicki tied up and traveled with the basketball. Case will have 3.8 to shoot it.
That was kind of a silly play that was drawn up. Zawicki inbounded it to then get it right back. Steen had her back to her. She should have just thrown it off of her.
This is Mooney. Lets it fly, and it goes! How about that? Julie Mooney, the senior, on senior weekend.
It's almost like she put up a layup from the three-point line.
That was an unorthodox shot if I've ever seen one. Mooney has 5 as her team heads into the locker room. They're up 10 at halftime.